Hey guys, craziest thing happened. So I'm sitting here updating some stuff on social, about to start driving Lyft, and then I open up Facebook and I receive the, hey, 1 year ago, this is your memory post thing. And 1 year ago, I posted that I had hit 2 years sober, and then it hit me. Holy shit, today's 3 years. uh, I know, I guess I've been saying that that 3 years was coming up. So damn, it didn't even dawn on me that today makes 3 years since I've had a drink, and along with that, since I've eaten Jack in a Box. And for those of you that know me pretty well, know how much I love Jack in a Box. Yeah, I never could have gotten this far if it wasn't for the inner circle of people I have, the friends that I've made in sobriety, who are also in recovery, some of the great reconnections that I've had with classmates, and for those of you who know who you are, hopefully you know who you are. The getting close to people that I didn't really know 10 or 15 years ago, but I know them a lot better now, even though we may have played sports together, or we're a year or two apart back at Kamehameha. And then those of you guys in the CrossFit community, coaches, members, athletes that I look up to, you guys are all part of my recovery. And damn, I'm super grateful. I can't believe that it's been this long. I'll try to make this short, but the awesome thing about where I'm at in my recovery, and knock on wood, one day at a time, sometimes an hour at a time, sometimes a minute at a time. You guys know what I'm talking about. I feel like there was a couple of lifetimes before where I'm at right now, and hopefully those of you who are not in recovery can totally relate anyway, whether or not you deal with drug addiction or alcoholism. Man, my drinking life, it seems so foreign to me now, like I'm packing up my house because I'm moving to Kaneohe, and damn, I got a lot more books than I thought I had, and not just graphic novels, mind you, but like books, non-fiction books. And I know I like to read now, but that's just one small example of what's so crazy, because 3 years ago, I said I hated reading, and the last 7 books I read were all the Harry Potter books. And to this day, actually, the last 7 fiction books I read are still the Harry Potter books. I'm into the nonfiction thing. Eventually, I'll probably, pick up a fiction book for some entertainment, extract some value out of it, some thinking lessons and all that. But that's just a small example of how life is so different now, to where I vividly remember drinking. I vividly remember ordering Chardonnay with every single meal whenever I went out. I vividly remember celebrating I want to say it was my 29th birthday, or 30th? 31st? Oh, it might have been my 30th birthday, maybe even my 31st birthday. I remember going to Buca di Beppo with my family and drinking my dinner. I just had, I think, 6, 7, 8 glasses of Chardonnay, at least 6, for sure, at least 6. And only my brother caught on that I didn't really eat anything. I ate like 1 cheese stick, ordered a bunch of food for entrees, but when you're an alcoholic like me, food is later. I never did like eating and drinking at the same time. Even way back when I was like 18 years old, 19, 20, all that, I never really liked eating and drinking, because I always felt like eating got in the way of drinking, Like I'm getting a little buzz going on, starting to feel that lightheadedness, that warmth in my face, the warmth that comes from the chest, and all of a sudden I eat something and then it goes away. Man, that would piss me off, which is why I stopped eating while drinking. And even when I did, just to kind of like fit into the crowd of normal drinkers, I would just like snack a little, like eat a little bit of onion rings, and then boom, attack the Chardonnay again. For those of you that drank with me back in the day, know that when I used to go watch like football games or playoff basketball or anything like that, the last, 5, 7 years, I not really a beer drinker, so I would just drink wine, drink Chardonnay. The red stuff was a little too, didn't agree with my taste buds as much. And then after that comes the shots, and the crazy part is I have a hard time identifying with that now. Like, I went to go have lunch with my mom yesterday, and I was super jazzed up about a wild berry lemonade. And I never liked drinking, lemonades or juices or sodas or anything. I was always water or Chardonnay with my food. And then I didn't even like eating the food anyway. I would just take it to go and say I wasn't hungry while I kept drinking. It's just amazing. And that's just like the last few years of my drinking. That doesn't even count like the previous 5 years or so when drinking still was like kind of fun, and yeah, kind of fun and enjoyable. Damn, that's crazy. So I'm reminded all the time that even though I've come a long way in my own like personal development, and I can tell like my self-esteem is just way better. I don't overly get on myself about doing something bad, and by doing something bad I mean, like, let's say, I don't know, I'm a little late to my doctor's appointment, then I don't beat myself up so badly about like, you idiot, you should have went to sleep earlier, and then you would have got up earlier, because you take a long time to get ready, right? So like, what the hell were you doing, blah 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 blah, and you name it. I would find a way to blame myself for it. Even if somebody else did something messed up to me, I would find a way to figure out how it was my fault. Like, I should have known that those things were coming my way. For example, for those of you that don't know me super well, many years ago, about 10 years ago or so, I had a girlfriend, thought we were going to get married. I thought that was it. Like, we were going to have kids, have a great family, all that good stuff. And things were going along that path. It was going pretty well until I decided to move to a different location. She had moved to Washington State at the time, and I was here, and I decided to move to California. At that time, I was selling Kirby vacuum cleaners door to door, which I was pretty good at, and I decided to go there to open an office. Long story short, I was not prepared to open my office financially, so very quickly the office went away and I was just working out there. And during that time, that's actually 2007 is when drinking started kind of spiraling up, because I had a good friend at the time. He moved in with me and we started drinking every day. I figured I like drinking on the weekends, I like drinking during the week, 3 times a week or 4 times a week. So hell, why not 7 days a week, right? So as that happened, I just wasn't faithful, man. I had cheated on that girl a bunch of times during that year. And I'd also disconnected from my best friend at the time, who was living here in Hawaii. And when I've, one day, guilty as fuck, like an idiot, I was drunk, and I told him what all the indiscretions. And it wasn't more than but a couple 3 days later that he told her. And it wasn't more than a couple 3 days later after that we broke up and never got back together again. And that time was super tough for me, that end of 2007, early 2008, because not only did I lose my best friend, who I thought was my soulmate, not the girl, the guy. Not only did I lose my soulmate, my best friend, I also lost some girlfriend at the time. And I remember at the time, other friends of mine were like, forget that guy, you should go beat him up, this, that, and the other, let's, do something bad to him. But I couldn't bring myself to blame him because it was my fault. Had I not done all those unfaithful, crappy things, I never would have, like, there wouldn't be any information to tell the girl, So I bring up that story, just to share with you my truth, that I blame myself for that for years, and that's how drinking got worse for me. 2008, 2009, 2010, and then eventually drinking out and about with people turned into drinking at home by myself, alone, not hating life, but just hating, me. I used to think for a long time that I drank in order to feel things. I remember it was a few years ago, right before I quit drinking. Last story, I promise. Thanks for hanging in there. I remember it was right before XMen Days of Future Past came out, and I was super excited about it. because I kind of was pretty familiar with the storyline, and I was glad to see them put it together, even though in the long run it was probably not a good idea for the X-Men franchise. Anyway, different topic. There was a trailer that they first came out with, and it was talking about, I forget exactly what happened in the beginning part of the trailer, but I always remember how it ended, because it like just broke my heart every single time, and I would watch it drunk on purpose in order to cry and feel terrible about life and myself. But at the end, it's a shot of the older Professor X, Patrick Stewart, talking to the younger Professor X, James McAvoy, and he told his younger version, of himself, that we need you to hope again. And I can see the scene in my head. I can feel Sir Patrick Stewart's words, Professor X's words. We need you to hope again. And I just felt like, and I know it's a movie trailer, but I just felt like those words were like for me, And I can't tell you how many times I cried watching that, drunk. Even not drunk, actually. I remember watching that trailer sober the next day, maybe still a little drunk, I guess. And it would just always like get me right in here. And have me break down and cry. So the reason I share that with you is, don't get me wrong, I'm not proud of like the uncool things that I did to the girlfriend that I had at the time. I'm not proud of those things. I'm not proud of some of the other crazy stuff I did while being an all-pro alcoholic. But I can tell you today, 3 years into sobriety now, that I'm grateful that they happen. And the reason I'm grateful for that they happen is because I remember the despair. I remember the loneliness, the sadness, the anger, and when you have those feelings deep down in the valley, as you're climbing the mountain and seeing the views, or riding the helicopter up the mountain, seeing the views, it just makes it that much fucking better. You know what I mean? So thanks for listening. Appreciate you guys watching, checking out Active Recovery Life. Because of the things that I've done, the negative things I've done, I hope that I can share this message in they call it of experience, strength, and hope, to help the next alcoholic. But really, hopefully it helps the next person, because we're all humans just doing the best we can on this journey of life, right? As generic as that sounds, but that's the truth. We're all just humans doing our best, the best that we can, in order to be happy. Whatever that means to you, whatever being happy, being successful means to you, that's the most important definition. And hopefully you guys find some value in this. Please feel free, if you know my number, feel free to text me, call me, email me, message me anytime. Be happy to talk recovery, happy to talk car sales again, and of course, fitness, wellness, health, movement, CrossFit. The CrossFit Games are also starting this weekend, I believe. I think today, actually. CrossFit Games start. So excited about that. So thanks again for watching. Appreciate it. Be well, my friends. And of course, stay active.